Welcome to part 6 of You Think God Created All Things. That's right, you think Jesus created all things and that all is good. But this is January 8th, 2023. It is my divine hope that by the time I am done with this segment of shorts, that you see the truth that God did not create all things. You should definitely think before you speak. You should pray. You should study. You should contemplate on these things. Did God really do this? Don't try to make excuses for things you've done yourself. It's better if you quit being like Adam and Eve and trying to hide what you did and come to Jesus repenting, saying, Lord, I broke this. I'm sorry I did it. Please bring me out of it. See, I have to do that on a daily basis. I have to do that on a daily basis because if I don't, I get turned around. We have to crucify this flesh every day. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy. Oh, trust me. There are some things. There are some things that is really hard to just let go of. But God is most important. Now, let's get into the Exodus 20. As I said, I'm going to show you because you want to holler, we're not under the law. Paul said that we only have to keep the 2. Well, you're not even keeping the 1. How are you going to keep 2 when you can't even keep the first one? We've already been talking about idols, so let's get back into this. This is Exodus 20. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which hath brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, which means slavery. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images. What is that? Look at that. And this one's even got a camera in it where it can see what you're doing. On both sides, in fact. Where they can see what you're doing and what others are doing. Your miniature spy and didn't even know it. See, what you don't know is those cameras work whenever they want them to. They snap snapshots or whatever. You don't know that. You're not aware of it. They make sure it doesn't show up on your machine. But it's still happening. I've actually heard mine when I've been sitting around here just take a snapshot. Yep. And I'm like, why is my camera working? But yeah, it happens sometimes. Kind of creepy, isn't it? But anyway, getting back into this, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above. Birds of different kinds or anything, clouds, rainbows, anything that is in the heaven above. Angels, celestial beings, stars. Let's not forget that. The sun, the moon. These things you call planets, those are actually stars. They're not what you think they are. Those are the hosts of heaven. You've been lied to so long you actually believe that those big rocks float in space. Those are the hosts of heaven. You think they're giant balls of gas floating out there in space just burning. Oy vey. Anyways. If those were giant balls of gas floating in space, Jesus would have told us that in the beginning. He's a good God. He don't lie to us. Anyways. You're not supposed to any likeness of anything in the heaven above or that is in the earth beneath. Animal or plant alike. People don't matter. Or that is in the water underneath the earth. That's vegetation as well as animal kind, or any such like that is in the water. Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God. He is very jealous. He really is. Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. I don't hate him. I love him so much. He's been shredding my life. And I complained a little bit, but in truth, I'm so glad. Because I want to be with him. I don't want to be in this world. Now, but I want to take a closer look at this word bow. What does this mean? See the little T there? It means worship. That doesn't mean you actually have to bow down to it. That means you could be worshiping it. Let's look at something right here, right now, that y'all been worshiping a lot. And we just come through this phase this time of year. A big graven image. A tree. A tree even. Some of you get to do the live ones, but a lot of you do these fake ones. And you'll spend hundreds to thousands of dollars on the perfect tree. Then hundreds to thousands of dollars on decorations for that tree. And you say it's not an idol, but yet you're spending all this money and time on it. More time than you spend with your family, in fact. So if you're spending more time with it than you do your own family, it is a given you are spending more time with it than you do God. Because you don't even spend as much time with him as you do your families these days. Oh, he's God, he'll understand. That's not what that say right there. What does it say? It says he's a jealous God. But there, God. I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children. So your children and your grandchildren are going to have to pay for the sins that you're doing. Been doing for years. Guess what? We already are. See, I talked a little bit about that uncleanness with the beasts and stuff, about how they Nephilim. Talking about the woman laying with the beast and the man laying with the beast. That if that man passes his seed on to a beast and it bears offspring, what do you think that those offspring are? They're Nephilim. They're not of God. Yet you think all things are created by God. No, God didn't create that mess. That's a confusion between man and beast. He is not the author of confusion. What about the woman? Her lying down with the beast. If it passes its seed to her and she bears that offspring, what do you think that is? A Nephilim. That's changing the DNA that God gave us. We are created in his image, but not with that. And guess what? Whether you like it or not, due to pharmakia, many of us have been made Nephilim without our even having to choose it. That's right. Those old Vixie Vipers, way back in the day when them things first rolled out, the first Valvolines, claiming that they protect against these pestilences. You know, the old pharmakia that gets poked in your arm. As soon as you roll out your mama's womb, pretty much. The old zinies, as I call them. Yeah, those zinies. That y'all run and get from the warlocks and the witches to protect you during the cold and flu season and whatnot, which apparently haven't been doing too good of a job lately, huh? Because y'all been coming down with some of the awfulest things ever known to man. Some of you about died from them, and many have died from them, even though they took all that stuff. Well, I tell you. Touch not the unclean thing is all I know to tell you. Put that stuff in the temple of God without even asking Him. For shame. And you think God created that too still. And I keep trying to tell you He did not. His name is not Herminius or Hermanus or whatever that guy's name was that created all that. Witchcraft. I'm going to say it that way because I want this to stay up. You look into the viper on the pole instead of to Jesus to heal you and to save your soul. It's exactly right. It's exactly what you're doing. And He's jealous. He's a jealous God. He's not going to share His glory. He never healed that way when He walked, and He changes not. He didn't heal that way then. He's not going to heal that way now. When did you ever see Him pull out one of those Jabbersons, and pull up that elixir of life into it, and then jab it into somebody? Where is there an account of that in this Word of God? You show me where Jesus gave them, and I'll stop harping on them. You show me where Jesus gave one, and I will stop harping on that. He didn't. Because He tells us it's done by the laying on of hands. Healing. Because those Vixie vipers, yeah, those zinies, they can't forgive sin. The warlocks and witches and wizards can't neither. Because they committed abominations. They can't forgive them. And you're going to a man or a woman, not even called of God, for a healing, and allowing them to put their hands on you, and they ain't praying for you for your healing, but you want to believe that's okay and that that's of God because God made that. Yet that's going against the written word of God. No, God didn't make that. You may hate me, but I'm going to tell you the truth until you come out of it or until you perish. One or the t'other. But I'm going to keep telling the truth. You ain't going to change my mind no matter how much you hate me. Because I love you. And I want you to be set free. I really do. Yeah, I know how hard it is. I've been living like that. I ain't took nothing. You know, over 15 months. Well, over 14 months. Yeah, I ain't took nothing in over 14 months. Pharmakia wise. And you know what? I'm still here. I pray. I get the church to pray for me. I haven't been seeing those things attacking me like y'all have. Because I'm trusting Jesus. Psalms 91. He shall not come nigh unto my dwelling. Though 1,000 may fall at my side. I don't care if every one of you drop dead. I'm going to keep telling you the truth till you do, though. But if you die in this sin, you will not raise in Jesus. I'm telling you right now. You will not raise in Jesus. I will see you in the next part.